Let's start with the teams that now are definitely going up. Bournemouth secured the second place this week. In your view, were they the right two teams to get automatic promotion, Fulham and Bournemouth to go up to the Premier League?
They are, because they achieve. If you are no, if you don't deserve, I think you don't achieve. When you finish first or second, means that you have done very well the things. That's why you can achieve this. So for me, I totally agree that they were being one of the two best teams in the championship during this year. It doesn't mean that there are no other good teams, but it means that they have been the best teams. That's why for me they have achieved this.
Does that say anything about the finances that are required? Can you get promoted automatically without having maybe the financial backing that both Fulham and Bournemouth have behind them?
I don't know. I have to be thinking which team have achieved this without have the same financial support. Of course, football is all the players, and of course, the good players can help you to win more games. Normal in football, if you see the final now that is going to be playing the Champions League, so Real Madrid is going to play against Liverpool, and the other teams, Villarreal have different budget. They were close so far. They were there in the semi-final without achieving the final. And Manchester City, we know that is another top club in terms of the financial possibilities. Football is football. I am not going to say anything that we don't know. Of course, if the level of the play is not important, doesn't mean the level of the play is very important in football. And the level of the player have a price.
Does it make the achievement of Huddersfield Town then to reach the playoffs and be close to automatic promotion for so long an even bigger achievement, because the club doesn't have that kind of same financial backing as some of the other clubs who have gone up automatically?
I'm never going to evaluate my team depending about the budgets that we have. I evaluate my team about the things that we create the football pitch. It's true that during a lot of part of the year we have been in a very good position in the table, because be inside of the group of the playoff, it was a very good position in the table. Sometimes we were in that position because the opponent had less games, but at the end we have shown that we could be there even with the same number of games, and has been something for me very positive. But I cannot evaluate the things depending about the money that we have. I evaluate the things about how the team is performing. I am very, very, very happy with my squad from the beginning, from the first day, from the preseason. And I was thinking that I had one group of special players to make something special. And it was my motivation. And the more special thing for me is to be a competitive team every time we are in the football pitch. I know that I have repeated this sentence many times during all the year, but it's my more deep truth.
And what does it say about Championship and why it's such an exciting league that we go into this final game of the regular season and there is still a lot to be decided with regards to the playoffs and who might get in there right at the last minute?
I think this is just positive for everyone, for the football, and it say about how competitive are the leagues here in England. I was following a little bit the League One the last week, and was exactly the same. Until the last minute of the last game, nobody knew which team will promote early in the playoffs. And with the Championship, something a little bit similar is going to be. Of course, it's a little bit different too, because two teams now have achieved the early promotion, but we don't know the last position until the end. We don't know at the end which teams will play the playoff. Some of these teams have guaranteed the playoff, and other teams didn't guarantee the playoff yet. So it means that the level of the competition is very equal. And at the end, until the last minute of the last game, everything can change. And this is the same of if you put this idea in every football game, it's the same. Until the last whistle of the referee, everything can happen. But not only in the Championship, and usually in football, if not Real Madrid, for example, the other day against Manchester City, so exactly this, that in football you never can give up. In football you always have to compete. In football you never can relax. In football is magic because nobody can predict what is going to happen at the end.
It's what makes it brilliant and what makes it a nightmare in equal measure, I suppose.
Yes, I think this is what football is. That's why it's an emotional game where the emotions are too high. But that's why the people love football, because if you go to one game and you know the result, you don't have any type of you don't have any type of motivation to go, because you know what is going to happen. Football is magic because you don't know what can happen. Football is magic because even the different badges of one team are not going to make the difference in the results. In one game, everything can happen. And at the same, the best thing in football is same referee trying to make the more fair decisions, 11 against 11. Like we need to keep, we protect football when football is fair, when everyone have the same possibilities. This is when we increase the expectation. Not the same financial situation, because every club is different and everyone have different possibilities. Okay, but for me, every team can fight with his resources in the highest level. The key for football is to keep being a fair play.
And how determined are you to go into this final match of the regular season and finish on a high, ideally by beating Bristol City tomorrow, and just continue that good run of form that you're in?
I think it's very important. Tomorrow we go to the stadium and we compete how we have to compete, or we keep competing how we are competing, and try to show the best that we can with the team, and trying to finish, of course, the season with a positive feeling and giving the 3 points to our fans. This is always what we want. So this is going to be the mentality tomorrow.
Is it a game where you can play with a bit more freedom?
Yes and no, with the same freedom that you need to play football, because if you only play with freedom, sometimes it means that you don't have, I don't know, the confidence, you don't have the personality, or you don't have some of the skill that you need to have to be competitive team in football. Of course, some type of game when you know that the consequence is higher of the winning or the defeat, sometimes block a little bit the possibilities of the player, and make them that they don't play with the same possibilities. But I like to see the team playing always with the same mentality, with the same freedom, and with the same confidence.
There's been a lot of praise this week for Tino Anjorin's performance coming on as a substitute against Coventry. Would you be minded to start him tomorrow and just see how he fares over 90 minutes?
I don't think he can play 90 minutes, and depending about how many players, I think that they need they need to be changed or subs, because not every player. I don't feel now all the players can play 90 minutes. I have some doubts on this, and I need to make a good mix of possibilities to can use the players in the best way that they can impact the team, and at the same time that they can compete, analyzing their possibilities.
How far off is he from being able to start a game, do you think?
I don't know yet, because there are things that I cannot predict, because everything is going to depend about what happened. So I think that every time we have 1 week in front of us, help him to get a better fitness level, be better from the physical point of view. And if you are better from the physical point of view, you can keep more minutes. So depend how I see.
And he came on and made a big impact as a substitute. From what that substitute appearance, did we see the best of what Tino Anjorin can offer, and what he brings to a side?
We are watching for me the other day. He was playing for me the best minutes with us, with Huddersfield, and we want to, but it doesn't mean that this is his limit. I want to see that one player that can impact the game, trying to impact the game many times in the football pitch. The fact that he was doing impact from the bench doesn't mean that he will be in the first element. He will do. We never know. The fact that one player has been impact one game doesn't mean that he's going to make impact in this game. Everything is not as easy as this, but not for Tino Anjorin, for every football player. I am very positive, because I was watching the best Tino the other day, and for me, he has appeared in a positive or necessary moment too.
And is he somebody going forwards that you would maybe like to keep beyond the end of this season?
injury not in everyone, because sometimes I understand that you ask me for injury, but I have to tell you for every player the same that I can tell you for injury. I can tell you for Scott Hyde that now in a key moment of the season he has appeared making a high level of contribution. So it's like I cannot go as individual for any reason. Every player for me means the same. Or Ruffles, the last minute that he has been playing, or Navi Sarr, the last minute that he has been playing, or every player I feel like this. So I want that in that moment of the season, everyone is in the best level that he can be, because it means that every player can help the team. That is the most important thing in my mind.
Just lastly from me on the injury front, Daniel Sinani was out with it. I think it was a groin problem. Is he going to be available this weekend? And likewise, Josh Karoma, Sorba Thomas, could you give us an update on them?
And with Sorba Thomas, he is not training with the group yet. He's working with the medical staff. And like I told you, we are not going to know what is going to happen. But I knew that he wouldn't play any of the minutes until the end of the season. We'll see what is going to happen in the next weeks. Like, we have the possibility to extend the season with the playoff. I don't know how he's going to react. Still is working with the medical staff. It's the same situation like Matty Pearson. So I will update you as soon as they can be available to be with the team. Then the other players, I need to see how many players can play the game. I can tell you that tomorrow, for example, O'Brien is not going to be involved because he had a small problem in the hip, and we decide it's no big problem, but he cannot perform in this weekend and is not going to be available. Let's see how he progresses. He's one of the players that we have some small injury. And let's see the other ones that are going to train today. After finish the training, we'll see how they feel. We'll see how Danny Ward will feel. We will see how Sinani is feeling. We will see how Cole will feel too, because during the week, he couldn't make the normal week training. And at the end of the training today, we'll see how many players are available and for how many minutes they can be available to make the decision in the first 11, to make the decision in the squad list, and the decisions to prepare the best tomorrow, the game in the best way.
Okay. And with O'Brien, would you be confident that if he is rested tomorrow, that he might still be available for your playoff games when they arrive?
This is what I want, but I cannot guarantee any situation. I only can tell you that O'Brien he has been excellent managing the pain during all the season, playing all the minutes. And now I think it's a moment he's going to have a medical treatment that doesn't allow him to compete.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow.
Hi, Carlos. How's Josh Karoma doing, just on that theme?
Karoma has been training normally this week, and he's going to be one of the players that are going to be available to select for tomorrow's game. But it doesn't mean that he's going to be involved or not involved in the first 11 or in the bench, because there are many. Now it's a very good news to all we have doubts to see which many players can be in the bench, because it means that a lot of players have the possibility to help the team and be involved with the squad.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big positive, isn't it? Is that you've got that depth, you can bring these players in. It's something we talked about a lot, but at this stage of the season, it's especially important, isn't it?
Yes, 100%. We know that it's important to have the best level of each player in this special moment of the season. Some of them, they have achieved, they arrived to this moment in a very good level. And other ones, because maybe, like, for example, Karoma, because some injury have stopped him to keep the progress that he was showing, didn't allow him to be in the best conditions. But all we will try to, with the game minutes or with the trainings, prepare the players to be in the best condition that they can be.
And is tomorrow's game, is that a big opportunity for some players to make a final impression on you going into the playoffs?
I think so. I think that tomorrow is important. First of all, for football, for us, for the team, for our fans. for what does it mean to compete one game. And secondly, because of course, everyone wants for me to finish the season previous to the playoff with the best positive feeling, because for me, this is important too.
How important do you feel form is going into the playoffs?
How important, sorry?
Form, like your recent results.
It's very important because, but it doesn't mean anything. Because I think if you analyze the history of football, we are going to watch every single thing. Teams that have arrived in the last moment achieve the playoff, and maybe they achieve the promotions. Teams that they have guaranteed the playoff and they have achieved the promotions. Teams that arrive to the playoff with injuries and difficulty help them to compete. Teams that have arrived in the total opposite and they feel with the confidence have helped them to compete. That's why I come back now to the first answer that I give to Catherine. Football is not predictable. You cannot predict. But if you tell me as a coach what you prefer, I prefer that the previous game have been working well, the team is achieving the result, because it means that the team is in a good way. But the good way of the past doesn't mean that the team is going to be in a good way in the future. And now the playoff is the future and the present is tomorrow game. We want tomorrow to perform well and to make the consequence of a positive performance, because this is what we can control. But after, you never know. You never know. The other day, I was talking with someone of Seattle that they were winning the CONCACAF, I think is the CONCACAF, and he told me that they were losing the left back at the beginning, the minute 3rd of the game. In the minute 30, they were losing the captain, one of the midfielder, and had to play someone with 16 years old that didn't play before, with 70,000 people in the stadium. And they achieved the winning. So sometimes adversity helps you, sometimes with adversity you cannot. Football, you cannot give conclusions sometimes in football.
That's it, yeah. There's been talk about using VAR in the championship playoffs. Would you be in favour of that being brought in?
If it's working well, yes. I think there is something, if you ask me, you like that championship doesn't have the VAR? I think the level of the referees in England is very good level of the referees. Of course, the mistake is part of the human being, is part. The referees are going to make mistakes, the coaches are going to make mistakes, the players are going to make mistakes, the journalists sometimes, I don't know, but maybe too. So in terms of, for example, predict lines up or whatever, mistake is part. I think that the game is very fair in England, and the level for me of the referees with the fourth official and everything is very high. So it means that I feel that we are in a good hands for any game. If they want to increase the fair possibilities, even knowing that is still human being, but with most technological support, will be fine too. But I don't know.
Just want the right decisions, don't you, I suppose, in the end?
Yes, this is the key. But I think the level of the referee help us, everyone, to feel that the game here in English is very fair, and we are in a good hands because they are making very well for me their job.
Great. Is there anything in particular you're looking for tomorrow, maybe with an eye on the playoffs? Is there anything you want to see from the players?
I want to see that the team is competing well. I want to see a good level of confidence. I want to see a very good level of demanding, and I want to see the team showing a good level and helping the fans to be represented by the players, as always.
Great. That's all from me. Thanks, Carlos.
Cheers.
Thanks, Stuart. Thanks for your patience, Matt.
Morning, Carlos. How are you?
Morning.
Obviously, you want to get the 3 points on Saturday, but if you do, does it matter to you if you finish 3rd or 4th?
I think we need to try to finish the league with the highest number of points that we can add, because this is our responsibility and has to be our commitment. After, in which position these points move us, is not going to depend just on us. What depends on us is to try to go tomorrow for the 3 points. That's all.
Fair enough. And we talked to Pippa earlier on. How it's obviously been a very long season. Lots of players are very tired. That's understandable. How helpful is it to you to have players like Pippa, like Scott High, like Jordan Rose, who are quite fresh at this stage of the season?
It's very, very, very positive, because it gives you alternative. And if something happened with players, like now, a few weeks ago, we lost one of our important players, like Matty Pearson. And to have players like Sar in a good moment appear after being out of the squad many times, and so that he is ready to help the team, is something very positive. Ossie Turton playing as a central back, showing that he can help the team playing that position too. We have lost, for example, Sorba in another game. Koroma was excellent for me when he was playing against Middlesbrough, the minute that he was playing. After he didn't play in the last game, but another player like, for example, Scott High appeared and play. We switched a little bit the shape and was playing and was helping a lot for me, the team, the other day. And this is something positive. That's the key to have a deep and very good squad. Then when you miss some of the players that were important players, you have someone that is going to replace them, and the team keep being a competitive team in different way. Because, for example, Scott High cannot play as Sorba because Scott High is midfielder and Sorba is winger. One example, or Anjorin is playmaker and Sorba is winger. But you always have possibilities to adapt the shapes to find the harmony. That for me, this is the key, to find a good harmony between the players to be a competitive team.
And you mentioned the Real Madrid game and how important it is to keep playing and to not relax. Another thing in that game, the substitutes were very important for Real Madrid. Do you sort of talk to your players about these examples?
We always talk about these examples. I like to share my thoughts with the player. No, with this game, I didn't do, but with another similar games yet. But this game show what is football, that football is magic. And in football, everything can happen. That's why football is sometimes the difference between the success and the no success, or the foil, the opposite to the success. Failure. Sometimes is this, but this is this. Because I don't know, the finishing of Grealish at the last of the game. We don't know if the defender of Real Madrid was close to the line. Sometimes maybe you arrive half second late, and maybe the result, everything that we are talking, the people is talking now, we will say just the opposite. Now everyone is looking for the positive things of Real Madrid in terms of the mentality. And maybe we are going to be analyzing the negative things of Guardiola or City. And maybe just half second the Real Madrid player arrived there. Or I don't know, sometimes is this detail change our opinions, our conclusions and everything. So that's why you cannot predict things. And that's why sometimes we need to balance, and we need to be focused in the performance. For me, it was an excellent game, because it was an excellent game where everything could happen. And with the more normal result is that Manchester City, the normal thing will be Manchester City watching Manchester City and Liverpool in the final. If you ask me what I will predict in the minute 89 of the game, I will have to tell you exactly this, that these two teams we will play the final. But football surprise everyone.
Yeah, that's why we love it. And I know you're going to be just focused on Bristol City today, but in terms of your analysis team, at the moment, are they working on Sheffield United and Luton and Millwall and Middlesbrough, or do they wait until the results before they sort of do that work?
We have been analyzing this week Bristol. We have been preparing the players for the game that we are going to play tomorrow, and we'll see what happens after the game.
Yeah, fair enough. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, and good luck with it.
Welcome. The last thing that I would like, sorry, before finish the press conference, I would like to send all the support and the thank you for all the people that is doing the pedal for pounds that all our fans are doing. So I would like to appreciate the effort that they are doing for something very nice, that is a social contribution. That is something that they can do, and we will receive tomorrow them living a special moment too in the stadium.
Do you ride a bike much, Carlos? Do you like to cycle?
Only in the gym when the cycle is static, and from time to time only. But unfortunately, I am not very. I don't have a lot of time to do this. I have to make an effort to go to the gym from time to time because it's good for the mind. Good for the mind. But I like to see the people doing sport because sport, of course, healthy for everyone. And when I see our fans making this type of effort for the social contribution, is made me feel very proud.